Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
It's just so good.
Holy smokes. Are you crapping? Ah,
Yeah.
jeez.
It's kind of funny, like,
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
heck.
okay, well, welcome back to Alcohol Content. I am Austin. We got Ryan. We got Rick. And we are giving you those hot takes on the alcohol we're tasting today. And we are continuing with part 3 of our best alcohols in the $20 range, so $20 to $30. And what do we got going, Rick?
Well, we're starting off this evening with, sort of a classic. It's Jim Beam Black, which we can pick up here for $21.99. And it's 86 proof. So it's not the typical Jim Beam, but it's black, and Jim Beam obviously has many offerings. The interesting thing about this is Jim Beam Black, specifically black, has done quite well with some blind tastes with things that cost more. Not with us, we haven't done that, but just over time or whatever, it theoretically bats above its price point. So it is on the lower end of the $20 to $30 spectrum. So what do you guys?
What distinguishes it to be black?
It's extra aged.
Okay.
Yes. Now it doesn't say how much it's extra aged, but Jim Beam recently they're a big distillery, so they're jumping the bandwagon with the double O. I mean, whatever. I mean, they put out good products. Now extra aged, I don't know if that means, it's extra aged because somebody didn't show up on Monday because they had a hangover, and so they dumped the barrels on Tuesday, and that's extra aged, or if what that really means.
I think what I'm getting with the extra aged is that someone wore a pair of shoes after running, and they just kind of left their feet in those shoes for a long period of time. Because I will say,
And then dipped it in the barrel.
I have a little bit of stank on the nose.
Really? Stank.
Stank.
It smells like a bit of a foot. Not like, oh my gosh, that smells like nasty feet. It's just like feet, and then it goes into a normal alcohol taste or a smell. Yeah, it's a little funky for me.
Get rubber.
Yeah.
Feet and rubber. Really? That's
Rubber
what you're
feet.
starting
A prosthetic foot.
Prosthetic, sweaty. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I get
some toe jam.
I get a little citrus,
A little marshmallow almost.
marshmallow.
Yeah.
Really?
Burnt marshmallow.
I am not getting this one.
I'm getting.
Up in there.
Well, sort of a. I'm going to sort of say like a Fresca that stayed in the sun too long with a bee wing in it. No, I'm actually getting a little citrus. There's a little bit of vanilla and caramel coming through. It's a little bit stingy to the nose, and it's not the proof. It's not the ethanol. But there's some.
It was a little funky for me. The taste is not funky, by the way. It is not like the smell for me.
But char.
Yeah.
I think they did a heavy char on this.
Extra aged in black.
Yeah. Black meaning they burnt the fuck out of those barrels.
But I'm picking up on the taste. My first sip, I'm picking up on some mid to 3/4 way through the palate. I'm picking up on some caramel and some richness. No?
Yeah, I think it definitely is rich. A little bit of sweetness with the caramel. I don't want my nose description to be taken away. It does taste pretty good. But it is kind of
It's not bad.
astringency on the aftertaste. I just kind of feel something on my tongue.
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable, by the way. It's
up front it's not bad.
Yeah.
And then it gets worse.
It kind of gets orange peely on the back end. And
A little bitter.
I taste that on the front of my tongue, but it's the aftertaste. It kind of hangs around like that orange citrusy.
Well, I get and I did smell the
some
orange
pith.
citrus. I did have some orange citrus,
Orange pith.
but the pith, right? The white
Okay,
stuff
yeah.
a little bit. So not yeah.
Yeah.
But I still get there's definitely a sharpness, but I am getting toasted marshmallow, some caramel coming through. They're all sort of thin, but they're there.
You know, it tastes like this isn't a good whiskey, and then something just sort of like
Yeah.
has a thin veil over it to make it not as bad as I feel like it should be. It's almost like I feel like this is tricking me into
Yeah.
thinking it's not that bad.
So the citrus on the tongue is too much for me.
Really.
It gives it that vibe of like they put something in it to elevate it, and the citrus is too bright. It's not balanced. This is not a balanced alcohol.
No, I agree.
I find it to be too bright with the citrus, and then the mellowness of like the caramel that you described, Rick. It does not. It doesn't counteract, and the tip of my tongue just stays like burny. Like, and I feel that orange flavor.
See, for me, it's almost like you had a piece of meat on the grill too long or too hot, and so there's something underneath that's okay, but then you get that aftertaste of like that was burnt. There's something
Yeah.
wrong here.
I wouldn't know because I know how to grill.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't.
Please tell us
No,
more about how bad you are at grilling,
So,
Ryan.
Yeah, I
It was from his
that's
grill.
on the tongue for sure. I'm getting sort of that stingy feeling, what you were talking about. But then right in here, for me it hits toasted marshmallow, caramely sort of mellowness that's rounded out for right in here.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, that's pretty pleasant, but definitely sort of biting on the tongue initially. I mean, it's not horrible, but I also sort of agree with what you said. It's almost like, what did they do to, like, it's like,
I'm trying to cover up something.
yeah. But it's
I
not,
smell a cover up.
yeah, it's not crazy bad or anything like that. And in all honesty, it'd be really interesting to throw this in a blind with other stuff.
Yeah.
And see just what the palate thinks.
And it might be weird that we're trying this first. It'd be interesting
It always
if it
is.
is in the middle of a lineup.
The order of the
Yeah.
tasting always makes a
And it's
difference.
also my first time tasting it as well. But it's a strange one.
Bizarre.
It's certainly complex, but not balanced. But yeah.
Well, it's
I was like,
$21.99. $21.99, so it's on the cheaper end. Oh, I love that sound.
Brand new bottle.
So what do we got here?
This
then?
is maybe one of the best values in regards to this is single barrel, and it's Evan Williams single barrel, and it's 86.6 proof, but it is single barrel. So there's going to be variances between the bottles.
So before we go too much farther, what are your final thoughts on the Jim Beam Black?
Lacking. Unbalanced. Weird.
Weird,
Not the worst thing by any means.
but weird.
But there's something wrong about it.
Yeah.
And I can't quite put my finger on it, but there's something off. And it just doesn't do it.
I feel like the distiller tasted it and they're like, there's something off about this. And they slapped the label on it and they're like, let's send it out. It's extra.
Extra aged.
Yeah. What about you, Rick?
Again, could be. I'd love to do it blind, because I agree that there seems something a little bit fakey about it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I mean by that. Like covering up something, because it's not terrible, but it was pretty thin. Yeah, and there was
It's definitely not aged very long.
yeah,
Like, that is a young whiskey.
Yeah, it's
for
definitely
sure.
young.
It's some Jim Beam magic.
Yeah.
That's what's going on there. Some
But,
black Jim
hey.
Beam extra magic.
It's readily available, and it's on the lower end of the $20, $20-$30 price point. So
Yeah.
and that was 86 proof. This is 86.6, so virtually the same proof. This is going to be the cheapest single barrel that you can get.
Evan Williams single
and
barrel
we can still
vintage.
get it here for $29.99.
And I
So it's
think
at the
Okay, this is
far
the edge.
end because it's single barrel. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? In that sense, it's a great value. Show me another single barrel
Yeah.
for $29.99. Whether you like it or not, it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But
I also really like that they have barreled date
Yes,
when they put it in the
yes,
barrel.
okay, yes.
And then when they bottled it.
yes,
Cool.
Yeah.
Which is super
A little
cool.
touch.
I love that transparency.
So this one was November of 2012 and bottled on March of 2020.
Okay.
So what, 7 and some change years? Which I think older bottles of this that you probably can't find anymore are more toward the 10-year mark. I think they've kind of reduced it as it's gone on. Because I remember seeing these on the shelf where it was bottled in, or I think it was barreled in 2007 or something, and bottled in 2018.
So 10 or
Yeah.
10, 11, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this still is a nice age on this. For $29.99, I mean, what do we have here? 12 to 20? 8 years each?
Less.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. baseline.
Seven and change.
So my nose, I'm not getting too much. It just kind of smells classic. Nothing. What's the proof on this?
86.6.
86.
Yeah, it's kind of a light nose.
Yeah. I'm taking like a big whiff. Like it's kind of sweet,
getting
but
little honeysuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little honeysuckle, maybe a little citrus.
Yeah.
Yeah, little citrus, little honeysuckle.
there we go.
This is just on the verge of being
Fantastic.
too much wood.
Oh, really?
To me.
See,
But I actually think, because I've tried this before, and I think it was more in that 10-year range, and I remember it being too woody. I think this being more like 7 to 8 years actually works better. I think the balance is much better on this than I remember it being.
yeah.
And so I think reducing that age, which I'm sure was more of a profit thing than anything, but actually helped the whiskey balance out. This isn't too much barrel.
See, I find it to be on the verge of being really, really good. It is just like it's right there, and it like tries and reaches, and then it just kind of like slowly fades away. It almost has the
Do
experience.
you think that's the proof? Because it's a lower proof. Like if it had a higher proof, would it dunk it?
Yeah,
interesting?
for me it would.
Yeah.
I like it quite a bit, and I'm going to argue that for me, now I've only had a sip, but that finish, it's finishing long and very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Way long for a $29.99 whiskey. Way long and
it's
nice
sweet.
and rounded and sweet and luscious. Oh, wow.
I think maybe a higher proof would be good because it would kind of give just a nice punch, and then it would have that long exit.
See, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I like the balance that this has a lot. And I think if it were higher proof, it might lose that balance.
Yeah.
Because what they have here is, I mean, all these components are hitting pretty well, and they're going together really well. So I'm really, really pleasantly surprised by this. I'm not. Do you think it falls flat? I don't think it falls flat at all. It might not be a journey like some of the ones we've had before where it's weird and takes you on a trip. But I think this, especially for the price, is not even down the middle. I mean, this is reaching above that for sure. This is exceeding.
That's true, but if I was to put it against some of our other more liked things in this lineup, this would certainly fit the bill of being complex and enjoyable. But it's missing the element that is making me being like, whoa, a $30 or a $20 single barrel. This is a single barrel that's in the $20 to $30 range. That's pretty darn good. It's not blowing my mind. And I think it's a single barrel that's cheap. And I think you're getting the elements that you would normally get from a single barrel, and you're seeing why it's cheaper.
Interesting. I don't know. I think there's a floral component, there's a sweet component, there's the wood. I mean, the proof is there, but it's not overbearing. I like this a lot.
I like it. I like it a lot too. But I can tip my hat to what you're saying. You know, the more we do some tasting together, Austin, it seems like for you, it's like you want something with at least one spiky edge to it.
Yeah.
Or something a little edgy sometimes, which I totally get. This isn't that. This is, I think, well balanced and luscious. It's not super viscous in the mouth, but I just keep experiencing this quite nice, long finish, certainly for the price point.
I do agree
finish.
with that a lot.
And it just keeps sort of like delivering flavor. I too wonder if a higher proof would just deliver more flavor, or if it would take it out of balance. But this is my, I've had a number of bottles of this, but wow. And again, because it's single barrel.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
This is leaps and bounds above the Jim Beam Black Extra Age from what we taste.
Yeah.
I
actually forgot about that bottle.
This is at the top of our price range, right?
$29.99. Yep.
So I am being a little bit more harsh on it because it is, first of all, a single barrel, and it is at the top of the price range. While it is not bad, I can justify spending much less and getting a better experience from an alcohol, I think.
Interesting. I think this bats above.
Yeah.
I would like to see this against $30 to $40 bottles.
Okay.
And see how that
I
goes.
think it'd do very well.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think it'd do. But it is not oh my God, what was that? It's not unique like that. It just delivers a really solid, really high level for $29.99 experience of Kentucky bourbon. It's a Heaven Hill product. Maybe
I think I'm a little biased because I was expecting worse. And so it's exceeding my expectations because I remember this being so friggin' woody.
And that's what I'm experiencing is that so freaking woody is
interesting.
It's not getting better for me.
So you're tasting too much wood?
Yeah. And it's
interesting.
It's kind of like I don't want to drink it anymore. It's not bad. It's just like, think of when we were tasting the Old Granddad. It's like, wow. And I can sit. It's like you're sitting in the pocket of like, you're just sitting in there. It just tastes so good. I don't want to have another drink. This I'm done with. I'm definitely over the wood flavor.
I think so. This is a really good example of the quality of the whiskey with how long it's been aged.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Evan Williams single barrel's quality is going to outshine some of the other single barrels. But it's a really good, like, kind of in between of, is the age too much for this quality of whiskey? Because most whiskeys, you can't age most of them for 20 years in a barrel because it'll be terrible.
Yeah.
It'll taste like a wood stave. But if it's really, really good, then the longer it can be aged. And I think this is right on that cusp of, okay, this is pretty good, and it's aged for a decent amount of time. A little bit more, whoa,
Yeah,
too
definitely.
much. It's getting on that edge of like, oh, falling off the cliff of barrel taking over the whole thing. So,
Well, it's like what about a little bit less age, a little bit less barrel?
well, and they've done that.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I mean, it used to be like 10 years, and I hated it because it was so much wood. Now they've reduced it, and I think it has more balance to it.
All right. Hey, so again, single barrel, so you can get a fairly different experience with the same product, just
Yeah.
a different barrel. But you're not going to find a single barrel for $29.99 anywhere. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't like it. With
Yeah,
single
it
barrel
doesn't
means
matter
jack
at all.
crap if
Yeah.
you don't like it.
Although it does have a wax tip with a cork.
Yeah.
Look at that, Maker's Mark. Come on. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
400 degrees.
That was, of course, again, the order that we taste and stuff. So it's coming after Jim Beam Black, which,
Yeah.
So,
And
so
I don't
who
want
knows?
to. I'm not trying to shit on it. It's just
Oh.
when there's certain things where it's like I felt the longevity of the tasting profile, but then I was also just kind of done with it. It's just like I wouldn't want another glass of that. Where
I mean, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
every palate is different. Totally fair.
all right, so what's up next?
Well, we're moving on. We have another. I mean, it's sort of crazy to say that there's another entrant from the same, from Old Granddad shows up again. Only this is 114, and it's
Jim
we,
Beam again.
We can get it $27.99 here. 114 proof, $27.99.
Yeah.
Now that means nothing if it tastes like toilet water. But I think the last episode we had Old Granddad Bottled and Bond 100 proof, right? And
Which killed it.
Which
Yeah.
killed it.
It took the prize.
It took the prize. So we'll see if the 114. I mean, they could again, like, if they could just up their game. Well, no, I don't want them to up their game because then you can't find it. The bottle shape's fine, but it's just sort of this hideous labeling. It's like, wow.
This is better than the Bottled and Bond for sure.
Well, they're trying.
They still
It's
have that
copper
orange,
instead of it's copper. Let's go metallic.
but they have the
copper.
little like melted seal thing
that.
on it
Okay,
Yeah.
and it's a wide mouth with the with the cork.
to chug faster.
yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
but you won't get the clunk 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 that you were enjoying earlier. So
It smells proofy.
it does.
Smells very
It's
proofy.
hard to kind of get underneath that.
What?
Well, maybe at that angle, I don't know. You're sniffing
my
at
nose
90
is in there.
degrees.
There's no proof there at all. What is this?
But I do
You're
get
taking lines of Old Granddad.
I get kind of a on the nose. If I sniff it at the right angle, like Rick was, I get kind of a cream soda.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's also a little spice going on there because, I mean, fairly high rye again content.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that cream soda.
Interesting. I get more of the spice for sure.
Oh, yeah. If you like smell kind of off canter, you get that sweetness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean the proof comes through for sure.
Yeah.
Well, $27.99. It'll get you drunk.
See,
Yeah. There it is.
like, what was the proof of the Evan Williams?
Single barrel 80. Single barrel
Both
86.
86.
86.6. Come on.
So
This is a shock to the system
it is,
after that.
but
Well, you're jumping a lot.
yeah.
No, yes, I realize that.
There's just a big but here, and the but is that this is what I was talking about, where I would come back to this This is homey, sweet. It's like comfort drinking.
What's it? Eggnog?
That's not eggnog. Like what was that one?
What was
Oh,
that?
it was
one?
the kicking, fighting cock.
The fighting. That's right. It's
Yeah.
been quite a while since we did that. So
But the Evan Williams it's interesting and it's complex, but there's certain things that will beat it out, and it's that homey, like old granddad. This is what your old granddad's gonna drink, and this is what your like old granddad wants to drink when he wants to get a little tipsy.
yeah, he just upped his game a
Yeah.
little bit. This is around the holidays for the
Yeah.
get off the grass, kids.
And now that I've taken a drink, that proof is going away on the nose.
yeah,
It is like really rich and sweet. Like let's see if I can think of it.
I'm getting cinnamon. I'm getting cinnamon.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of the rye going on. But there's other things going on. There's a cream, not as much creamsicle as I think I got from the old granddad bottled and bond 100 proof. But yeah, I'm definitely getting some citrus, some cinnamon, some well, you mentioned it, the cream soda, sort of a mellowness there too with the cream soda type thing.
What do you got, Ryan?
This is not doing it for me.
Really?
Yeah. And I've liked this bottle before,
Yeah.
but I don't think this hits as well as the Bottled and Bond, Old Granddad. I think that does wonders. This is and it's not totally fair because this is after 86 proof stuff, so this is a huge jump.
A jump up.
And
yeah.
I think my palate's like, nah, that's too much. It's a stretch too far.
Maybe you
'Cause
should man up.
It's not bad, but I don't like what you said on the Evan Williams. I don't want more of this.
Okay.
And
So
I've
we did a
liked
little
it before,
flip-flop.
but I think I'm pretty consistent in liking the Bottled and Bond more than the 114.
Yeah.
Like this is almost just proof for proof's sake to me. Not that it's bad and it has something backing it up. It's not just alcoholic, but I don't get a lot more. It's not a huge
Yeah.
array of stuff.
I find the
beyond the proof.
nose does produce more than the old granddad. But
The
flavor-
Bottled and Bond.
the 114, the nose is better, but the alcohol itself, when you're tasting profile, think I agree with you. Where the
Yeah.
old granddad is more, with the 100 proof, it's just like kind of a little bit easier to drink. This is the similar profile, but a little bit harsher.
Yeah. This is
But that nose, man, this smells amazing.
I'm getting a little root beer on the taste now.
To be fair, if you want something that high of proof, you're not going to find anything better for under $30. You just won't.
Yeah,
But
it's hot. Whew.
I would take that Bottled and Bond Old Granddad that we tried before over this.
Now, would you take the Evan Williams over this?
I would like to have both of them because they're both very different. I also would like to try them not one after the other.
Yeah.
But I think the Evan Williams has its place, and I think this has its place, but they are not the same place.
Cool.
I like this. There's a reason I have several, but I have fairly consistently enjoyed the old granddad bottled and bond 100 proof over this.
Yeah.
So
It's-
proof for proof's sake, I don't really. I mean, I still want to like it. I do tend to like some higher proof stuff, but I still want to like it, and I like this. I do, but it's a good value for the proof,
Right.
and it's not hideous in any way. I like it, but I would go back to the bottled and bond old granddad
Yeah.
sooner than this.
And I guess
Yeah.
I think this bottle really depends on what perspective you're looking at it from. Because if you're just looking for an enjoyable experience, I think there are a lot of bottles that we've tried that are better than this, that I've enjoyed more. If you're looking at it from, hey, how can I get essentially a barrel strength bottle without spending $60 to $70? Absolutely. It's not bad. It's not going to totally disappoint you. But if you're looking for just, oh, I want to keep coming back to this, I don't. It's a great bottle in reference to other things, I think. I think this is a solid baseline of, oh, okay, if you want to compare things in this price range, okay, here you go. Or if you want to compare things in the proof range, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Are you going to spend 3 times the amount on something of similar proof? Is that 3 times better than this bottle? Maybe not. But this is not one that I would want to drink on a daily basis.
I will say this. I believe that old granddad 114 is a mood thing. I really do believe that, because I've come home, had not the best day at work, poured, I have a number of bottles of this. That one's, working its way down. So I don't reach for it every day or anything like that. But there are times when I reach for it and I've gotten a fairly different profile than I'm getting now.
Sits down with old granddad 114. How can I reach these kids?
No, it's like, get off the grass. Yeah. It's like, no, it's to me, it's sort of an enigma in that, depending on the mood or whatever, it gives me different profiles at different times. Sometimes it's a cinnamon bomb for me, and it's not a cinnamon bomb tonight for me, but it just shows up differently for me. Yeah. So I think it's a mood thing. That's what I'd say.
I get more cinnamon off the bottle than Bond, I think.
Really?
Than I do off
for
this
me,
one.
It's like that back end of that flavor is cinnamon. It is up there.
Yeah.
Ooh. But I think this is something you just have next to your bottle and bond. I mean, why not just stick with the old granddad? You have the 100 proof and you have the 114 proof. And when you feel like you want to sleep a little deeper, pull up the 114.
It's worth having both of them, for sure.
Well, and it's still fairly readily available. Again, for $27.99, show me a 114 proof. So I guess if you're looking for that extra grandpa cough syrup, punch to go to sleep or whatever.
If you had a bad day and you don't want to dip into your really good stuff, this is the bottle. This is absolutely the bottle.
Yeah, and I will say it's a little heavy on the flavor profile. It's kind of too rich.
Too rich.
On that last flavor.
Too richy rich.
It was a little much. And I think it's less balanced when it comes to the rich profile. The bottle and bond has that balance.
I would agree with the balance part for sure.
See, that, I think the Evan Williams is slightly out of balance toward the wood, and I think the old granddad 114 is slightly out of balance to the proof.
Yeah. Well, hot takes.
Hot takes. Hot takes. Well, that's interesting. We're not
sponsored by nobody.
And we're definitely not agreeing tonight on stuff, and that's okay. That's the beauty. Different palates, different when you're tasting it, the profile, et cetera, et cetera. This is what just poured is David Nicholson Reserve. Again, can be had in our area for $24.95. It's 100 proof.
And this is David Nicholson reviving after the third day a new
had in the first round we had David Nicholson, which wasn't the reserve 100 proof, but that's the original David Nicholson is wheated. This is not wheated.
So same proof,
same
just
proof,
not wheated. Do we know if it's the same recipe?
Well, it's not.
it's not
okay,
because
fair
of
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a dumb question.
By
So is
by
this
definition.
the exact same alcohol, but it's just called different?
new label.
Yeah,
I
and
take
it's
back
got
what
a
I
black
said.
label as opposed to a white
Yep.
label. That's
Well,
all
I'm
the
sold
difference.
on it. It's more, it looks more
But
classy.
but it's not weeded, so is it more rye or is it more
It's
barley? I mean, I'm assuming more rye.
right. Yes, it's rye, and I don't know the mash bill, but it's generally that's 8 to 10% barley or whatever. So I think it really is the difference between what the percentage of the corn is to the rye.
This smells like floor wax.
What? I haven't.
Floor wax.
Yeah. That was my first
I
smell.
believe you crapped all over the original David
Yeah.
Nicholson.
I did. I
You-
shit on it.
Would you
Yeah.
not like the name David or Nicholson or
Neither. If your name's David,
Yeah, he's an estranged son. And he just missed out on inheritance.
Papa.
I don't really mind the nose at all. I don't.
floor wax?
You're saying that like it was a bad thing.
Floor wax. What
I
do you-
used to wax the floors of a liquor store. God damn
I
it!
eat floor wax for breakfast. I find it kind of that caramely,
Yeah, no, I get some
Homey.
caramel for sure.
yeah, that caramel floor, rubber, squeak, 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 basketball floor. I like that nose. It smells pretty good. It's comforting.
I get some light fruit along with some caramel on the nose.
Like you're candying fruit. Like you're
Yeah,
on the stove boiling some-
candied cherries.
Yeah.
I would say, and floor wax.
Yeah,
kind of raisiny.
I don't get quite that dark.
I don't get that
I get
dark.
more
I
red
get-
fruit.
I get
Okay.
red fruit too.
like candied cherries, cranberries, like a Thanksgiving cranberry
Yeah,
sauce.
because there's a little.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
There's definitely some cherry, some bright cherry in there.
Well, I'll tell you this. Ignore the weeded David Nicholson and definitely go with the 100 proof because this is not bad.
Oh, wow.
We
Yeah.
kind of took the other one to town. This is good.
This is so much better. Why the hell are
Way
they
better.
wheating stuff?
I don't know, but this is way better.
I'm
Agreed.
This is unoffensive, and this is a right down, almost a home run. Classic.
You clearly played baseball.
This is a first base touchdown.
That'll move the chain.
That'll move the chains. Yeah,
This is dunking the football. That's for sure.
dog it. No, I'm sort of surprised because I'm enjoying this, and I've only had a sip, but I don't find this. You sort of go for unique with like a certain like edge or point to it, to make it stand out, and I don't. It's enjoyable. I just see it sort of down right over the plate.
Yeah.
So let me throw this out there, though. When we tried the regular David Nicholson, our biggest thing was it didn't have anything to back up the proof, right? And it was 100 proof.
And it was supposedly weeded, which would have been more sweet to back
Sure.
up the proof.
This bottle is coming on the back end of Old Grandad 114. So
Fair enough.
our palates are blasted by proof, and now this doesn't seem that proofy. So it seems much more imbalanced to me,
Well, and
which it might be, but it also could be. I could have the same impression as the regular one that we tried, but I'm just not ready for it because of what we just tried.
so just to be fair, the regular David Nicholson that we tried in the first round was right after larceny.
Yeah. So actually the opposite.
Exactly.
So
Although I have had both of the David Nicholsons head to head, and I generally preferred the reserve, the non-weeded.
This seems much better than the weeded one.
yes.
But it would be interesting
Vanilla,
if this
definitely.
were not after 114 proof.
To be fair, and I understand proof, and generally you want to go up towards proof, but I want to sort of mix up our tastings a little bit too, where it's not always proof point exactly this way. You are ascending in proof point.
Well, and we're also proofing the point
I
of
thought you were about to dump that onto the table, and we're testing it. What it looks like inside of a
Look at the
tablecloth.
viscosity of that.
no, but it goes to the point of when you taste things, your entire palate can change depending on if you're tasting other things, if you had food, if you whatever, your mood, all that stuff.
I enjoy this, although Rick, I definitely like what I go to is things that give me more of a experience one way or another. But when something just hits it right down the middle, is I can appreciate.
Well,
and it's like I think this is an example of that, to where this is just nice.
Yeah, and Larceny,
nice.
completely different, but it hit it right down the middle for you
Yeah.
too, right? Yeah, exactly.
But I'm in the corner of Larceny. Larceny is the most approachable whiskey I think I might have ever had. That is not like syrupy or things like that.
Right. Yeah.
And this is good and approachable, but this is someone who
It's a little more oomph.
this is a whiskey drinker's alcohol. This isn't give this to your best friend's wife. This is let's show this to some people who enjoy whiskey.
Well, and I'm also coming to realize I think at least right now in your journey, 100 proof is like a really good, right? Like, really
Bottle
good
and
proof
Bond is like my jam right now.
Yeah.
Everything Bottle and Bond I'm really enjoying.
Well, this isn't bottle
It's
and
not-
Bond, but
but
it
it's
is 100
100
proof. Yeah. No, I'm favorably
Pleasantly surprised.
impressed. But Ryan's correct. It's coming off the 114, which is considerable. 14.
Definitely
higher.
for me, like my palate got blasted by that 114, and so now we're coming back from it, and it seems really nice. That's why we need public opinion.
Yeah.
That's why we need comments.
You had to comment on,
Try this bottle. It's kind of
right?
random.
It's like what's David Nicholson?
Yeah. But that's why I enjoyed doing all these, and why we're doing this in the first place is every single time it's fun, especially doing blind tastings, which we'll eventually do with all of our number one picks. It's like all these will taste different, and that's why we enjoy alcohol. That's why we do this in general, is because it's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
The day you had, the mood, the weather, the order you do, it's all what you had to eat or didn't eat. It all plays a part.
Well, and even something that both of us enjoy, rare breed, wild turkey rare breed. Like the first time I was having that about a month and a half ago, I was really enjoying it. But now I am getting acid reflux right when I take a drink, and it's hard for me to enjoy it. And it just depends on what's going on in your body, how you're feeling. So that's why
That happened to me with Evan Williams, Bottle and Bond.
Yeah.
Couldn't drink it anymore.
Yeah.
Really? Acid reflux? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah. That's why I couldn't drink it. Just like every time, just one sip, done.
And it sucks 'cause I really like rare breed. And it's just like,
Rare breed is nice.
I can't drink this.
That's why I want to do that in one of our tastings, because I haven't had the Bottle and Bond Evan Williams in a long time. And at the time I was drinking a ton of like champagne and really high acid white wines and stuff. And it's like, ooh, that's just too much.
I haven't had. I have a number of bottles of Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, and it definitely bats above its price class for sure.
Typically does, yeah.
But yeah, it's speaking of batting above its price class.
We got that wild turkey.
We got some
101.
We have some Wild Turkey 101.
Talking that shit from last time.
Yeah.
That's taking you all the way back.
Fighting cock.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
this is a Wild Turkey. This is Wild Turkey 101. Holy. And just cracked the bottle open.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still the old label. I know they
Okay.
have the newer label, but I probably have 3 or 4 of these to go through before I
Yeah.
get to the new label.
You're so goddamn biased.
I'm a turkey.
Yeah.
I'm a turkey fan.
It smells pretty darn good.
I haven't even smelled it. I'm going to say it
Yeah.
smells good.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
heck.
Like,
Ah, jeez.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, wow, David Nicholson, it's great. And then we're coming off 114 proof. It's like, how refreshing. And it's like, well, Wild Turkey. Smells
Oh.
amazing.
Okay. Well, let me just say this.
I don't
This-
like your contextual
Yeah,
explanations.
yeah.
okay?
I don't like
I just
where
want to be in
I don't
the
like
moment.
where this is heading.
This is the best.
Oh,
Okay.
I do
By-
like.
All right, fine.
I do
by
like where
a
you're heading.
If you're going to
Long
support our
shot.
sponsors, then great.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
As soon as Wild Turkey starts sending us free stuff, then I'm all in.
Jimmy Russell will be doing it tomorrow. Hey, Jimmy! Jimmy! We need
No,
some
this.
turkey.
I mean, this is head and shoulders.
Yeah, I love that shampoo.
The shampoo
It
above.
prevents
this
all my
is
dandruff.
this is one shampoo above
Yeah, I actually I
Oh.
prefer
all
this.
the other ones.
I honestly, I'm getting a creamy mouth, a viscous mouthfeel. This is in our now. It's gone up price wise. It's $26.95 now. So
What the hell?
but middle. I mean, not that long ago. Whatever. That's the old man talking.
It doesn't
it's like
matter.
that used to be.
Back in my day,
When
I bought this for a
35
nickel.
cents a gallon for gas, I could have my GTO that got 1 mile to 10 gallons type deal. But it's like,
I
this
used
is
to buy
so
my
good.
dad a pack of cigarettes when I was 5.
Yeah.
Remember when gas was $3? Oh wait, you guys are going farther back. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like
Dude,
It
that
was
was like
25
2
cents.
weeks ago.
it was 25 cents a gallon. Yeah, you earn $2.25 an hour too.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh,
No, this is
that. I mean, the nose.
this is just better than everything else. And I like this lineup. This is a good lineup. What I really like about
Controversial lineup.
well, yeah. What I love about this whole lineup is there are different things that are rocking for most of them.
Yeah.
Like there are really good aspects to a lot of them, but they're all very different. And if you want one versus another, it just depends on how you want to approach it. Except this.
Yeah.
This is better in every way than all of them.
Caramel, cherry. Are you kidding me? Vanilla. Oh my goodness gracious!
I don't know what it is about Wild Turkey, except Matthew McConaughey's.
Long branch.
Which
Yeah, we won't talk about
what is
our
that?
hit-
The lost episode.
the lost episode.
The lost episode.
Yeah, we won't talk
of
about
that
the
long branch. Oof. Duh.
And so,
Yikes.
what are you thinking, Austin? I mean, this is. I mean, I know it's not bottled in bond, but it is 101 proof.
It's one more proof more.
It's
and
one
it's just-
more
these
I'm
go,
just not a
these
fan.
go to 11.
It's good. It's undeniably good.
Yeah.
It is rich, but all these descriptors I've used for previous ones, it's them but balanced and more sweet and less like the proof is there. The burn mixes with the sweetness of it all.
It's got spice.
It does have spice.
Spice, floral, sweet.
It's just kind of all around.
barrel.
It's like it's whiskey 101. This is the class that you take when you enter college and you're going to learn about whiskey. This is it. This is
Yep.
Wild Turkey 101. Welcome to your class, your clinic on bourbon.
They do something there. Now I know Wild Turkey 101 is a char 4. So it's 55, 60 seconds on the. I mean,
What was the Jim Beam, a Char 7? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, really. Didn't we
No,
say
they-
it was a Char 3?
They took a marker and just like line
Sharpie
a Sharpie and line.
That's the addition that we were like, what's this flavor? It's
I don't know.
just
I don't know
marker.
what they do. I don't. And here's the deal: for my palate, Wild Turkey products, they hit my sweet spot in my palate. They do whatever. I mean, I am a Wild Turkey 101 fan. Now I know this isn't blind, and I'm sure I could be fooled easily. But boy, this is complex, rich, a good mouthfeel. It's got it going on. It's got all those different, cherry, vanilla, caramel. I mean, it is bourbon 101.
Yeah. They must have done that on purpose. I mean, come on.
It's good. And then rare breed.
It's not Bourbon 101 though. Like this is so much better than most basic bourbons.
Honestly, if you blind tasted this, I feel like you would be able to pull this out and be like, I know what this is, because it is so unique
and so good.
and that nose. I'm going to attempt to remember this nose, because if we ever blind taste this, which I'm assuming we will, because it seems like it's going to be the top contender on this run, like I know what this is going to taste like, or know what it's going to smell like, what brand it is. This is just fantastic.
I think so. Every time I taste Buffalo Trace stuff, and we talked about this in a previous episode, there's always one really common note to most Buffalo Trace products. I think Wild Turkey also has that. Maybe not to as great a degree as Buffalo Trace, but there is something where it's like the Wild Turkey 101 rare breed, not the Long Branch. All their products have this very unique, distinctive note that is common among them. So there's something they're doing that is just nailing it.
Is Wild Turkey owned by any company?
I don't think so.
I think
it's just them.
Yeah, I think it's them.
Well, sorry. They are, of course.
Some bigger,
They're
larger
owned by
conglomerate.
like Diageo,
Okay.
because everything is owned by
But
either Diageo or
they
Suntory.
do their thing though.
Yeah.
So
Everyone's owned by somebody.
So to me, Wild Turkey 101, it just works. Wild Turkey Rare Breed at 116.8 proof works generally a little better for me. It's because it's this amped up, but with a little funk tossed in or whatever. But there are days when it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Wild Turkey 101. That's what I want.
Cheap.
And I think Ryan mentioned this on an earlier episode. It's like it for some people, for bourbon drinkers, they know what the value of this.
Yeah.
But for some other people that it's like it was a college experience and Wild Turkey 101, really? Are you kidding me?
Right.
It's like
That's
no.
a throw-up experience.
Go back to it, do it blind.
Yeah.
Because this is awesome value. Again,
Sip
even
on
at
it.
$26.95, and I know that's gone up in the last few months or whatever. I mean, you used to get it for the lower 20s, but
Wasn't
still,
that it was like $22.
but exactly,
right?
but at $26.95
$22.99
still, so it's mid 20s. Come on, this tastes.
This will probably bat way above. This could probably go into $30 to $40 or $40 to $50 bourbons.
Keep going,
Yeah.
keep going. In my opinion,
And we might have to do that. Yeah.
It's good.
All right. Should we go through rank them?
put her up there.
I mean, I'll give it to the old Jim Beam. No, I'm just kidding. That is
Oh,
the
you silly
last on
goose.
the list.
That's not a bad lineup up there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I have it at, actually. Rick, you did my palate right there.
Really?
Wild Turkey 101 is the winner. hands
You're
down.
going down the line.
I'm going down the line.
And David Nicholson second.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a second. I liked the so Wild Turkey is great. I mean, we didn't go super in depth into all the flavor profiles, but just trust us, it's super good.
It's so fucking good.
David Nicholson, the Reserve 100. I like that we've tried one of their weeded bottle earlier, and it wasn't that great. We kind of chat on it. We took it.
yeah.
We took it to
town.
Took it to town.
Yep.
I like that. That is a bottle that I might go and get now.
Under $30. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good, just straight across classic bourbon.
Again, another one that might be worthwhile in a cocktail.
Yes.
That would be a good one in a cocktail.
That's a good point. Fair.
One that won't be good in a cocktail is the Evan Williams single barrel.
Agreed.
Don't add that to a cocktail unless you
100%.
know what you're doing and you're needing that flavor profile. Please, dear God.
No.
And the Jim Beam, please just leave out of that. I do not. That we said it earlier. It felt like something was wrong with it, and they counteracted, and people buy it for whatever reason. And
That was a cover up. That was Watergate.
yeah, that this is a
Watergate.
That was
conspiracy,
Watergate.
and that it felt like the
Where's
extra,
Q?
yeah. Where else are you gonna see extra aged on a bottle? Like, can you guys tell me that?
Super aged.
Yeah. I
Totally aged.
talk about some sort of like they have a batch and it sells and they're like, well, I guess we'll just keep making this because it sells. I don't have much to say on the Evan Williams because it was such a strange bottle for me. The Granddad is just good, but I think we could agree that the proof is a little much and it's a little too rich for me. So I say Wild Turkey 101. And the David Nicholson is my second, and the wild card is the 114.
What do you got?
I'm gonna go Wild Turkey 101.
Surprise,
Place.
surprise.
Yeah, it's zero
Company
surprise.
man.
It's
Fanboy.
Zero surprise. I mean, in my backyard, I have wild turkeys, and I placed a bottle of that in the backyard, and I have pictures of wild turkeys, like looking at
That
the bottle.
picture's going on the gram.
Yeah, look, wild turkeys are going.
Yeah.
What's this? It's like it's your namesake. The David Nicholson definitely reserve, definitely surprised, and I enjoyed it for sure. I enjoyed the 114 Old Granddad, but not as much as the Old Granddad Bottle and Bond. I'm sorry. I'm going for number 2 is Evan Williams Single Barrel for me.
Okay.
And then David Nicholson Reserve right on its tail. And then Old Granddad, I'm an Old Granddad fan, is going to be 4th. And then Jim Beam, distant 5th. Jim Beam, extra aged black.
Yes.
Damn. I thought I was going to be the weird one on this, but I think I'm kind of in line with you. So, Wild Turkey 101 for sure is first. And then I think I might go David Nicholson second.
Oh, Jesus, Moses.
Though I think it would require a second tasting.
Well.
And then
well, okay.
Over Evan Williams.
but then I would do Evan Williams third. Then Old Granddad, then Jim Beam.
Okay, so Old Granddad's 4th and 5th. So the question, and Wild Turkey's first. So the question then goes, do we do a taste-off between David Nicholson right now, overtime, bitches,
OT.
David Nicholson Reserve, and Evan Williams?
I
Single barrel.
don't want to try the Evan Williams again. So
Well, it's clearly
Yeah.
we're combating here. I think you have an early morning tomorrow, Ryan.
yep. So let's
let's do it.
let's roll the
Let's-
dice.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think we're doing it.
So
Which-
this is for second? Is that what we're doing?
It's for second, and then who gets sort of the wild card.
And it's the opposite of these? So we pick our second, and the other one.
Yeah.
Right.
is wild card.
Yeah.
I cannot believe Old Granddad is not stacking up to these. That's crazy. This is a good lineup. That's what's fun.
Where do you sit? It really comes down to you.
That's tough.
Are you going to get over your bias of the wood?
It's very woodsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
He needs to probably take Viagra. He's got a problem
Yeah,
with wood.
he does. I've seen it.
I took one before this episode.
Well, I've noticed.
Let's not move from this table.
No, it hasn't done much.
You haven't
don't
noticed
worry.
that this table has just been at like a 30-degree tilt the whole time?
Yeah. He wishes. Hasn't done shit.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
Everything's just kind of whoa.
He, again, wishes. It's.
I got it from you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, there you go. Sorry. Skips a generation.
You get it from the mom.
Holy. There's some wood.
Yeah.
All right.
So
are
which
getting
one?
at it.
What's it
It's
going to be? What's it going to be before I write her down?
I'm going to go Evan Williams, then David Nicholson.
It's a big mistake
So
you're making.
here's the good news: is this is wild card?
Wild card.
It's wild.
Wild card.
So Wild Turkey 101 takes first.
My tasting wheel.
The tasting wheel.
He
got
gets you a
the,
new one.
What's for where?
At all.
Like, did you even look at it?
No, I didn't.
Exactly.
I don't need it.
It's a wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just gotta
Evan
feel it.
Dog
Williams,
motherfuckers.
gotta feel
single
it.
barrel,
That's not on there.
86.8 proof, and then the wild card is surprisingly David Nicholson.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So,
Old Granddad not even coming in there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah.
Not what it is. What it is.
I did like, out of the 2 other episodes we did, this has certainly been the most
Controversial.
controversial,
Yeah.
which was fun. It's interesting for me because I want to know why you guys are enjoying the Evan Williams as much as you are, because I want to. It's not like I want to dislike it. It's just
so weird. Yeah.
it's one of those things where I just can't get past certain elements and I'm not able to enjoy it. But
Well, and
the David Nicholson for me is just so easy to drink and so enjoyable.
And I am split between those depending on how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Like it's the David Nicholson is more calm. It's more relaxed. Even keel.
Yeah.
The Evan Williams is more like, whoa, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's one of those things where it's like, what is it? Easy drinking or is it experience?
Yeah.
Because Evan Williams is more of an experience for sure. It's different.
But I would, for me, as someone who is like about the experience,
Yeah, but you didn't like it,
I didn't like it, which
is fair.
Yeah, it's
That's
interesting.
totally fair. But
Yeah.
it's
I mean, it might be controversial, but in a way, it's not, in the sense that Wild Turkey 101, overall favorite for all of us without a question, right? I mean, our top
Definitely.
3,
Yeah.
there's no question on, right?
yeah.
The Old Granddad, unfortunately,
Which is
114 came in
Yeah.
4th place, but for all of us. And the Jim Beam Black came in 5th place for all of us, without a question. So it really is the top 3.
Yeah.
Just
We agreed on the best.
The second and third position was the only
yeah.
deviation here. And you know what? Tomorrow night, I could blindly go David Nicholson's, without knowing it, David Nicholson's better. I like David. That was a good surprise for me. Seriously. I'm glad that we have
was fun.
We do. The Jim Beam is the cheapest of the night, at least what we can get here. The Evan Williams single barrel is the most expensive. So $21.99 for Jim Beam, $29.99 for the Evan Williams. And then the others are, Old Granddad's $27.99 here, but for 114 proof, and David Nicholson and Wild Turkey roughly the same price, mid-20s. But yeah, that was an interesting lineup
Yeah.
for sure.
Cool.
Like
Enjoyable.
and subscribe.
Yeah.
I like it.
See us
Again,
on TikTok and Instagram.
Ignore that comment.
Oh,
But
I'm on there.
We have, we have only a limited amount of $20 alcohols. Make sure you let us know in the comments of ones that you think slap, like Will Smith, above their weight. And like and subscribe because, that'll let us know that you like this content. And outside of that,
Well, we look forward to the comments too.
We look
if you
forward.
think we're full of absolute crap,
yeah, let us know. If you agree with me,
I
which
will
you should.
fight with you online.
Yeah, definitely agree with me.
Let us know if you even know what David Nicholson is. Have you been in a St. Louis grocery store, for God's sakes?
But yeah.
I've never been in a St. Louis grocery store.
Well, I'm just saying that's where I got it start.
So next episode, what's the preview here? We got
That's the last round of our initial bracket.
so we are not at the finals yet. We are in the last
Round, heavy hitters.
Okay.
I think heavy hitters. I
and
could
then
be
we're
wrong.
going next round,
Okay.
eliminating things. So things we've tasted already, but we're going
Well, that'll be our
best
losers
of the-
bracket.
what? No.
No? Okay.